What? I tried and it didn't work. Hang on, let's go again. What is up, everyone? Fish shop, I don't know what that was. Sorry, it's been a while. It hasn't been a while, it's been about a week or two. I don't know, it's not been that long. MD has been working me so hard. Haven't had any time to do my own stuff. No, I'm just joking. He's given me loads of time. Unfortunately, the flu that I caught didn't give me any time. I lost my voice. You can still hear it a little bit. But I'm back. We're back with the axolotl tank. And I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say, I think FLUVAL will have it pretty nailed with these shaker aquariums. I think they are one of the better / best big aquariums out on the market at the moment. For the kit that you get, I think they've nailed it. I don't think there's much more that you could want from an aquarium. Obviously, like I say, I've worked with them in the shop for a while, but I've worked with it at home now for a bit. And yeah, well, anyway, let me talk you through and let me sort of tell you what I mean. Now, obviously, the aquarium hobby is vast. You might be wanting to keep shrimp. You might want an open-top scaper style aquarium. You might want an all-in-one unit. You might want a little nano tank. There is no wrong or right answer to what tank you need to buy. It depends what fits you, your style, your want to keep, your budget, everything. There is no right answer. For me, the shaker has sort of gone above and beyond what you used to get off the shelf in a fish shop, but has kept it really simple and really nice. So that's why I'm really impressed with how it's gone along. Working in the aquatics industry for so long, you see a lot of tanks come in and come and go that, how do I explain it? You know, people swap out the filter, or they swap out the light, or they swap out whatever. They end up changing something. You know, they end up ripping an internal filter out and upgrading to an external. Whereas the FLUVAL Shaker range and the FLUVAL Sienna range, actually, because they're both very similar, there's not much you need to upgrade on them. Now, this is no way a sponsored video for FLUVAL or anything like that. This is my tank. This is just a brand that I like, and I've sold it for years and years, and I've always found it good quality stuff. So this isn't a sponsored video to go and buy FLUVAL Shaker today. It's just sort of explaining why I think this is probably the best all-round aquarium that you can get above. Well, this one's 354 litres. They do a 168 and they do a 254. So they do like a 170, a 250 and a 350 sort of thing. And I think for those sizes, there's not much better with the kit that you get on here. I don't think you could want for much more. You'd have seen this tank if you've watched the recent axolotl scaping video that I'd done with my wife Katie. This is the tank that we set up and we chose to do with our axolotls. Now this would lend itself, this is obviously cold water at the moment for these guys, but it would lend itself really easily to a heated tropical aquarium because it comes with the heater. We just didn't use it on this one. Part of the reason for doing this video is that a few of you have asked for a review of this tank and what you get with it and everything like that, which is fine. I love doing review videos and I love showing you sort of what comes in the kit and how it all works. But working with this aquarium has, like I say, made me realise that this is possibly one of the best all-rounders out there. Now, there will be other ones out there that, like I've said before, suit your needs and people prefer. This is just the one I prefer at the moment. If you're looking for a tank that's on the bigger side, but still one that comes all built, you know, yeah, you can get custom stuff and that. But if you're looking for one that's built, ready, filters, light units, everything like that, the FLUVAL have got it nailed, really. Now, well, actually, why keep waffling? Let's show you through the reasons that I'm really getting on well with this aquarium and, yeah, why I'm loving it, why I'm enjoying working with it. So let's get into it quickly. So do we start at the bottom or the top? Excuse Quinn's toys as always, because this is his little toy corner. So let's start at the top, actually, because the top is probably the easiest place to start with. Now, like I say, one of the reasons I do love this tank is for the ease of use. Done. Oh, sponge. You're into it. There's no messing around. There's no big bulky lid to lift off or anything like that. This trim does come off if you want it to, so you can remove all of that. All these lids do come off and lift off so you can get in. So you can get this whole top of this aquarium open within seconds. Now, I'm a lazy fish keeper. I've got some tanks that have got big lids on them, like really chunky lids. And I'll be honest, sometimes you look at it and you're like, oh, I've got to do this or I've got to do that, but I've got to lift this big lid off and I can't be bothered. But whereas this, it is just literally open the lid, in you are. Obviously, this is the bigger version. So like I've said before, there is 3 different versions. I'll get into that in a minute. This one comes with dual lighting. So it's a twin light bar, which is the Aquasky lighting. So that's all LED, Bluetooth controllable, sunrise, sunset. You can change all your colour parameters on it. Really, really good lighting. Now the smaller 2, this is the 354, so this is the chunky boy, as you can see. The smaller 2 have 1 light bar on them because they're a narrower aquarium. So whereas this one, if I come to the side here, you can see it's quite a deep aquarium. They come to about here. So yeah, they're a bit shallower, narrower, and they only have 1 light bar. But yeah, that is one bonus of this, is like I say, all the lights are in. You can upgrade them. There's this runner here, so if you did want to put like the FLUVAL plant light on here at a later date, you probably could. You'd just literally clip it into there, maybe remove one of these or keep both of them and have super intense lighting. But yeah, really nice, easy to get into. That's one of the first things that I like about this aquarium. There's no messing around. There's no big, heavy, bulky lids to lift off. It's there, it's done. Now, getting into the aquarium itself, there isn't anything majorly exciting about a glass box. Black silicone, all the edges of the glass are polished like the FLUVAL Siennas, so you can go and watch that review. I did a review on the FLUVAL Sienna like, I don't know, maybe a year ago, probably a year ago. And yeah, they're really nice because they polish all the edges, really smart little glass to it, to be honest. But yeah, inside the aquarium, nothing too exciting, other than obviously my axolotls. They are exciting. There's the albino and this big dude. You alright, bud? He's good. But yeah, they're looking really cool. Now, FLUVAL, on all their bigger aquariums, do a drilled base. So you can see my outlet there. Now, excuse the little bit of algae, because obviously this is quite a new aquarium. They've knocked my Java Fern off there. But yeah, you've got the inlet up there, which is pumping water out. And just down behind it in there, where that Bucephalandra has been torn out and chucked in. Do you know, I just water changed this tank and I replaced all of the Bucephalandras into their right places, and they've torn them all out already. So you've got a drilled base on the tank with the pipework coming down into it. Now, having the pipework inside the aquarium for me is so much easier because it's just there, it's done, it's simple. Some people don't like it, some people are worried about it leaking. I can guarantee you that FLUVAL have been drilling or having drilled tanks like this for years, like years and years. I have never had one that's leaked. The way that they're made, you've got sort of 2 seal rings. I might be able to get a photo of it, but you've got 2 seal rings with a pipe that pushes down through. There's really very few ways, other than user error, and it would have to be terrible user error, like not putting the pipe in. That's the only way that you're gonna like get it to fail, essentially. But I do like it because it's all neat, all fitted, and the wonderful thing is then on your cabinet, where your filter is, you don't have to. Oh, hang on, I've got a light in here. Maybe? Yeah. So we've got the FLUVAL 407 in this one. I'll do a rundown of the different models and what they come with in a minute, to be honest. But the nice thing is, with the drilled base, you can sort of see it up there. There you go. So with the drilled base like that, you don't actually prime the filters that much. You might have to give it a quick prime, but once you open that and this tank's full of water, instantly the water comes down into the filter, primes the filter, and away you go. So again, one of those things that just makes life easier is thought of and fixed, especially for a beginner. That's done. So simple, so easy. Obviously the cabinets are nice as well. This is the grey one. They do an oak one. They do a black one as well. I'm not sure if the black one comes in all the sizes. It definitely comes in one of the sizes. What is that? A cardboard construction kit. That is something of Quinn's that's ended up in my drawer. But yeah, has drawers. Don't know what's in here. That's fine. It's just some sand. We can live with that. I was a bit worried what was going to be in that cupboard then. But yeah, just a really nice, solid cabinet. Easy to build, like 10 minutes to build. Well, maybe 20 with my wife helping. But yeah, really simple, nice aquarium cabinet to build as well. You really just can't go wrong with them. Right, so I just spotted in this cupboard. This is the heater that you get with it that we didn't use.
So it's what they call their M series heater, I think it is. Hang on, let me put the camera down and get it out. Ta-da! There we go. So it's just a mirrored heater. Nothing too exciting, to be honest, but the nice thing is, because it's mirrored, when it's in the back of the aquarium, it picks up on all the colours around it. So, for instance, obviously I'd have it somewhere back there near the filter inlet, and once it's back there, it's going to pick up on the browns and the greens all around it. It's going to reflect them, and it virtually doesn't go invisible, but obviously it picks up on so many colours around it that it does sort of disappear. This is the main heater that comes in the majority of FLUVAL sort of off-the-shelf models, as it were. Things like the Roma range, the Vicenza range, the Sienna range. Yeah, that's the heater that comes with them. But yeah, I really do think that between this one and the Sienna, if you've got a modern house, I think you're going for the Sienna because you've got that like concrete and chrome trim. If you've got sort of an older style house, then these sort of shaker style cabinets, get rid of that box, out of the way. They just look really smart. Obviously, less child rubbish in the corner, but yeah, they're just really smart. I even like the wood grain that you get on it. Like, obviously it's a veneer, but I just like that. The handles are nice. Obviously these have got fake drawers so that they can sort of tie in with the whole look of it. But yeah, oh, gentle. Really cool looking aquariums. Like I touched upon, there's 3 in the range. So there's the FLUVAL Shaker 168, the FLUVAL Shaker 254, and then this one, which is the 345. That's all the litrages of them. Now what I'll do is I'll pop it up on screen in a minute as to all the different dimensions and all the different sizes, because I won't remember reeling them off, and then you can screenshot them if you want them and go away and measure up what gap you've got to fit the tank in. But yeah, I think these sort of, they cover most bases. Like I say, 168 litres all the way up to 350 litres. It's going to cover the majority of your fish keeping needs. Yes, there's always going to be people that want that 5, 6, 7 foot aquarium, but they've made these 350 litres but squat. So they've sort of brought it in, and it's not as long and imposing in the home. They've just made it deeper front to back. The other main attraction that I like of the FLUVAL aquariums over a good majority of the other aquariums on the market is their lighting is spot on, really. You can't, well, you can go wrong with it, definitely, because obviously you can set the timers wrong, but they are good quality light units. They do 2 different ranges, so the Shaker aquariums have sort of their cheaper side of their Bluetooth lighting, which is their aqua sky lighting, and then again the Sienna, which is that sort of modern looking chrome trimmed one that I done a review on a little while ago. That one has the plant sort of lighting, LED lighting in it, so they're slightly brighter and there's more LEDs. But the nice thing is they are fully programmable. Now, I should, in theory, be able to log in on my phone. Now, what I'm going to do, this one's obviously got 2, so I'm going to turn what I hope is the rear one off. I've called it Home Rear Shaker Light Unit. So if I turn that one off, maybe, there we go. So if I turn that one off, that is the back one. So yeah, you can still see it on there. But what I'll do is I'll screen record this, probably put it over my face is probably the best option, and just show you how the lighting works. So if I start recording on my phone, 3, 2, 1. So now we're recording on my phone. So hopefully now you can see the control unit. This is your main screen that you get, which is just all of the controls, or all of the basic controls for these light units. So, sorry to the axolotls, it is going to change colours a few times. So you've got things like the oranges. Oh, hang on, let me turn off the backlighting, because then you'll be able to see it a little bit easier. That's all the backlighting off. So, yeah, you've got things like oranges, you've got blues and pinks and purples and yellows. Actually, this might look better if I turn all of the house lighting off as well. That's a little bit better. So you've got greens, you've got yellows, obviously you've got whites and things like that. You can change all the colours of those. Now these ones that you can see with the plus and minuses in the middle here, these are all your sort of radio station style, I guess. So you can set your lighting, you can see me dimming it and dimming it slightly there. And then you can ramp down the blue or ramp down the green, ramp down the red. And then all you do is P1, P2, P3, P4, you hold it down and it's your program. So that is literally just set to 1 bit of white. If I bring the blue and the green and the red up,
and I save it again, you can see it's just got a little bit. So you can set your individual programs. So if you're watching TV in the evening and you just want to sort of dim the lights down so that it's not glaringly bright in the corner, you can just press the button, brings it all down. Bottom section there is all your moonlight. So you've got like blues, lighter blues. You've then got cloud settings, so it sort of fades and dims with different cloud settings. You have got thunderstorm setting across the bottom there. I am not going to inflict that on my poor axolotls this evening. I think that's a little bit unfair. But the storm function is a little bit gimmicky in some ways, I suppose. The one thing I think it is a lot of people say about, or not a lot of people, but a few people say about breeding. Obviously, a lot of the fish breed in the stormy season. Big water change, thunderstorm setting on the light units. Maybe it triggers some spawning. I've never used it, but that is what some people say. So maybe that is an option. But that is your storm function across the bottom. Once you go to the next setting, you've got what they say is automatic. Now, you can see that's turning on at 6 o'clock in the morning, turning off at 6 o'clock in the evening, job done. I would personally say for freshwater, the blue is probably too high. I reckon that's going to cause more algae than you want it to. But each to their own. You'll just have to see how much algae grows in your tank. You can press the export button and you can have a plant boost or a colour boost. Colour boost has the high blues. Plant boost has, I think, 100% everything. Yeah, 100% on everything. So super, super bright. Obviously, it's off at the moment because I'm recording this after 6 o'clock in the evening. Last one is Pro, which is your own setting. Now, you can see my colours are a little bit jaunty and a little bit annoying. That's I didn't realise they were like that. But this is where you set your own settings. So what you can do on this is mine turn on at 1:30, or, well, that's the start. That is the start of the sunrise. Then they turn on fully at 3 o'clock. So that will ramp up slowly all the way to 3 o'clock. 10 o'clock, it starts dimming down. 11:10, it's pretty much, well, it is off then. Now, the good thing with that is I'm at home at those times, so I can see what my guys are doing. I can see them buzzing around. I can feed them. I can watch them. I can make sure they're doing all right. I'm never at home from 6 till 6. Very rarely, maybe on the odd Saturday or Sunday, but I am very rarely home at 6 till 6. So that's why having my lighting set like this in the evening is far better. But all you do is you go through, so if you wanted your green to be a little bit higher, you can ramp up your green. Go back to the other setting, ramp up your green, and then that makes your tank a little bit more green. You've just got to mess around with it to fit your aquarium. Like I say, blues I'd be keeping low on 99% of freshwater tanks just because of how much algae they can cause. A little bit of blue doesn't hurt, but too much is going to cause problems. Now with this, again, I'll save that one with the extra green, why not? With this one, again, you can export it. So you can see I've got an axolotl setting there, which is that lower lighting. But plant boost, when you do that, it's obviously off at the moment again because it's 6 o'clock, but you can see they've got that dip in the middle of the day that's hopefully going to stop a lot of algae from growing. But yeah, it's a nice light unit. Let's put it back onto axolotl so they can see what they're doing. It's a really smart, nice light unit. Obviously, you can see at the bottom there, dynamic effects are turned off. You can turn on all these different dynamic effects so they randomly happen throughout the day or whenever you want them to. I don't ever turn them on. It's just one of those things that I don't really bother with. But they are brilliant light units. Overview, oh yeah, that just shows you what you're doing at what time, so nothing too exciting there. But yeah, decent light units, all built in to this tank for that price. You really can't go wrong. So like I say, that's lighting covered, that's sizing covered. The last thing is to cover the filtration. Now, all of the FLUVAL shakers come with the FLUVAL 07 range of external filtration. The nice thing with these is they have been going forever. FLUVAL have been building external filters now a long, long time. A long, long time. Now, the good thing with the FLUVAL externals is every time they've built a new model, they've perfected it a little bit. They've changed it a little bit. Now, I cannot remember back to the 01 series, so it would have been like a 101, a 201, a 301. I can't remember that. I started in the hobby, I think, around the 04? 03, 04, I think it was, maybe 04 range of filters. So these are now on the 07. So it's like, yeah, they've had a few generations. And every time they bring a new generation out, they just perfect it that little bit more. These ones, I really can't fault them. You know, there's always going to be something that, oh, I'd like it to do this or I'd like it to do that. But for a simple, standard external filter, does what it says on the tin, good flow rate, good filtration capacity. You really can't go far wrong with the 07 range of filters. Now, all the shakers come with an external filter. On some other ranges from FLUVAL Roma for instance, the smaller ones come with internal filters. These guys all come with externals. So your 168's coming with a 207, your 254's coming with a 307, and this one's coming with a 407. So all adequately sized to fit this aquarium, or the aquarium that they come with. I'll be doing a full review on the 07 range filter, cleaning, maintenance, all of that sort of stuff over the next couple of months. Just because trying to fit it all into one video, it ends up being 50 minutes long of me talking about stuff, and it just, no one needs that. No one hangs around for that long. So yeah, there will be an 07 range filter video coming at some point, just not yet. Now, one thing that everyone always talks about or thinks about at the moment is money. Now, yes, these aquariums aren't the cheapest ones out there. When you think of it, comes with an external filter. It comes with Bluetooth LED lighting. It comes with a decent heater. There's nothing to upgrade there. Not unless you want to go in different directions, but you could literally get it out the box and run it until you upgrade your tank or do something different. Literally, the kit in here I would trust for as long as I run the tank. Whereas there are other aquariums out there, and I'm not naming any brands, but there are other aquarium manufacturers out there, you know, they put tiny little internal filters in their aquarium. Yeah, great, it looks like the tank is cheaper than a FLUVAL. But once you get 6 months down the road and your tank's full of fish and that filter clogs up every 3 days, or it fails or whatever, and you're like, oh, I'm going to have to spend 150 quid on an external filter now. Well, you might as well have bought the FLUVAL shaker in the first place and had it done properly, or the FLUVAL Sienna. Both of them are the same when it comes to kit. So yeah, really, like I say, they're not the cheapest on the market by any stretch of the imagination, but I think for what you get with them, they are better. Like, the 168 is about £560, so in dollars, do dollars go up or down? I think that'd be like $600, but anyway, you can work it out. But yeah, the smallest one's like 550, the medium one's like, I think 800, and then this one is like 1,100, I think. So again, once you look at it, and I think, hang on, I'm just looking up a FLUVAL 407, I'll get onto that in a minute. So a FLUVAL 407 is 220 quid. 216.99 currently on the internet. So for £1,000, I'm getting a 220 quid filter. The two light units on here are they're like 3-foot light units that've got to be 150 quid each, easily. So I'm already at 500 quid, if not more, before you even take into account the aquarium or the cabinet with the kit. Whereas, go out there when you're looking at aquariums and have a look if the company sells the filter as a separate item. Because if they don't, more than likely it's a cheap filter that they've bunged in there to get the cost down. Whereas FLUVAL are supplying you with all of their main brand stuff. Yes, the light units look slightly different to the Aqua Skies in the fact that they've got a slightly different body, but the technology and the quality is still the same. It's no different. So yeah, like I say, cost-wise you'll pay a little bit more than some of those other brands, but personally I think you're getting a better deal out of it in the long run. Then the other thing people are looking at is... Oh, hang on, our lights aren't on. Hang on. I've just realised. I was just going to start talking about electricity consumption, and the rear light's not on. Let's connect to that. Connection successful. Pro. That's better. So, I've had a look at it, and that's why I had the FLUVAL 407 up on my phone, because I was just having a browse at it on the internet to check. The FLUVAL 407 runs out at like 23 watts. Electricity consumption. It is nothing. This one has 2 light units on it, and they are 24 watts each, so for argument's sake 50 watts. So the filter and the light units are just coming in at under 100 watts. Well, you're only going to be running your light units roughly 8 hours a day. Yes, your filter's going to be on 24/7, but again, it's the biggest filter they do in the 07 range, and it only consumes 23 watts. It's nothing. You've then got to think of your heater. Now, the heater for this one is going to be like a 300 odd watt, so it is going to be a beast. But again, this tank in here runs at like an ambient temperature of like 18, 19 degrees. So for a tropical aquarium, I'd only have to boost that by 3, 4 degrees, and it's there. So your heater's going to be on infrequently, really, every now and again. And the good thing is, because you've got those metal, big, thick lids on it, hang on, ooh, sponge, phone, but yeah, if you look at those, they're like a weird 2-core like metal construction. I don't know if you can see it, but because you've got that on top, that's going to keep a lot of your heat in and stop it from escaping. So energy running costs on these is going to be really efficient, especially compared to some of your open top ones. But like I say, if you like that, you like it. I've got an open top one just sat there. I like it. It's a lovely tank. But I'm one of those people, there's a fish tank for everyone. Don't go bashing people, oh, I don't like the look of that one because it's got this stupid trim on it. No, it's just not your style. If you like the open top ones, you like the open top ones. I like to keep an open mind. I like to have multiple different tanks on the go because it just gives me a view of what everyone's trying or everyone's keeping at home. There's certainly tanks that I hate more than others, ones with big bulky lids that you can't get them off. I don't necessarily hate them, but they make my life harder. I don't need that. But whereas lids like this, easy. Anyway, on to the next thing. But yeah, I don't think there's much more to cover on this, to be honest. No, I can't think of anything. Let me know in the comments if there is, but you know, they're nice tanks. You really don't need to know much more than that. After having this aquarium now for a few weeks running in the house, I can see why they are so popular. I'd probably stand by my word. I think these are, I wouldn't say entry level, because obviously that's a lot of money to drop on a first time hobby. A lot of people will start with smaller aquariums, but I think if you're wanting that standard style of aquarium with a lid and an external filter and you don't want anything, you know, super different, I think they are one of the best aquariums on the market at the moment, certainly in this size bracket. Where else can you get a 354 litre aquarium with an external filter that you know is not going to pack up, with Bluetooth lighting? Yeah, okay, you're going to come in the comments and show me a few different ones, granted. But FLUVAL's everywhere. You know, if you need a spare part for it, they're everywhere. If you need to get hold of them, there's so many guys at their office, I say guys and girls, that work at their office that are there to help with the customer service line. I just think FLUVAL have got it nailed at the moment. And, you know, companies go through peaks and troughs and something might change at some point, but they've got it fairly well pinned. I think you're going to have to do a lot to beat the FLUVAL Shaker and the FLUVAL Sienna. You can go and watch that review video if you wanted something a little bit higher spec. The light units that come with that are slightly higher spec. Like I said, you could upgrade these light units very easily. The runners are already there. You can just clip them in, away you go. So you could do that. It wouldn't be hard. But yeah, I just wanted to shout about the FLUVAL Shaker. I really like it. I think I might get another one. I fancy one of the little 168s. Get rid of my big cube over in the corner and maybe have a little 168 over in the corner. Not too sure what I'd put in it yet, but yeah, I certainly like the idea of that. But yeah, anyway, I don't know what I'll do. I'll probably see you in the next one. Yeah, I think so. I might see you... Well, no, let's not go there. Lots to do, lots to talk about, but I'll see you in the next one.